Hello everyone, I am this side and you are watching my YouTube channel. So in this video we will learn about the different mechanisms of cell injury. Right. So in the previous modules what we learned that if a normal cell undergoes stress, then the cell can adapt. Now there are different mechanisms of adapting that we already have seen. Now if the cell fails to adapt, then that leads to something known as cell injury. Right, something known as cell injury. Now if the cell injury is prolonged, that's known as irreversible injury, and if it is transient, then that is irreversible injury. Now in today's video we will try to learn what are the different mechanisms of cell injury. Right, so this is our topic of today. Right, so let's get going. Okay, so this is a star. Now on each apex of the star we will write each mechanism. Now first mechanism is ATP depletion. Right. Now the second mechanism is mitochondrial damage. Third mechanism is increased intracellular calcium ion. Fourth mechanism is reactive oxygen species mediated damage. The fifth mechanism is altered membrane permeability. And the final mechanism is damage to DNA and protein. Now these mechanisms can occur individually or more than one mechanisms can occur simultaneously and cause the cell injury. Right. So we will in the next few modules see these mechanisms of cell injury one by one, and in today's module we are going to discuss the mechanism of ATP depletion as a mechanism of cell injury. Right. So let's dive into it. Now let us see how ATP depletion causes cell injury. Right. Now first of all, let us take the stressor to be hypoxia. Now what stressors can cause cell injury via ATP depletion? So the stressors are either hypoxia or any chemical agent. These two can cause cell injury by hypoxia. Right. Now in the blood, oxygen comes to the tissue and that oxygen goes inside the tissue. Right. And in the tissue there is one organelle known as the mitochondria, which utilizes the oxygen and gives off something known as ATP. Right. Now if the oxygen supply via the blood decreases, then less amount of oxygen will be diffusing into the tissue, and as less amount of oxygen diffuse into the tissue, mitochondria will receive less oxygen and the ATP levels in the cell will fall. Now ATP is required in multiple processes within the cell. Now those processes will get hampered. Now let us see what ATP does in the cell. Now over here what happened? The ATP levels fell down. So we have decreased ATP within the cell. Now this decreased ATP within the cell will first affect two active transporters. Now what are those two active transporters? First it will affect the sodium potassium ATPase. Now what happens? Let us see. Suppose this green dot over here is the sodium potassium ATPase. Now what does the sodium potassium ATPase does? It throws away sodium ions and brings in potassium ions in the cell. Right. To manage the leaky channel activity, which causes leak of sodium into the cell and leak of potassium out of the cell. Right. Now I am not balancing the number of sodiums and potassiums over here to keep the video nice and simple. Right. Now if this channel stops functioning, then what will happen? Then there will be sodium accumulation within cell. Now sodium accumulation within the cell will cause what? It will osmotically bring in water. So water in cell will increase. Along with that, what another thing is gonna happen? The potassium levels within the cell will fall. That is, over here it will be an efflux, and sodium it will be kind of an influx. So all these things will happen. Now if sodium and water, particularly water, if it increases within the cell, what's gonna happen? Now if water increases in the cell, that will lead to cellular swelling. The cell will swell up. Now this cellular swelling will cause what? Now if the cell swells up, what is the situation that happens? Initially we saw the cell was like this. The cell had a lot of microvilli on its surface. Now if water starts to accumulate within the cell, what's gonna happen? The cell has to accommodate all the water. So for that, the membrane folds which cause microvilli will be lost. So the cell will get oval or round in shape. If more and more water starts to accumulate, in that case there will be formation of outpouchings from the cell membrane. These outpouchings are known as blebs. Now this bleb concept is very important when we will be studying apoptosis in cell death. So remember this word bleb. Now cell swelling will lead to loss of microvilli. And bleb formation. Right? Along with that, another thing that's gonna happen within the cell, as the cell swells up, another very important organelle within the cell swells up. Now what is that organelle that swells up? In the cell, another organelle which swells up is endoplasmic reticulum swells up. As endoplasmic reticulum swells up, what happens? The ribosomes detach from the surface of RER. Ribosomes detach from the surface of rough endoplasmic reticulum. If ribosomes detach from the surface of the rough endoplasmic reticulum, that will lead to decreased protein synthesis, because ribosomes are absolutely essential for protein synthesis. So this will ultimately lead to decreased protein synthesis. Right? So this is the final fate over here. So let me summarize what happened. So decrease in ATP will affect the functionality of sodium potassium ATPase. Its function will go down. Now if the function of it goes down, what will happen? Sodium will accumulate within the cell, water will be dragged into the cell osmotically via sodium, and at the same point of time potassium in the cell will decrease. Now water accumulation within the cell will lead to cell swelling. Now cell swelling will lead to loss of microvilli, second bleb formation, and third thing, that is swelling of endoplasmic reticulum. Now this swelling of endoplasmic reticulum causes detachment of ribosome from the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum, particularly which one? The rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now when ribosomes get detached from the surface of rough endoplasmic reticulum, there is decreased protein synthesis. Right? So this is what happens when the functionality of the sodium potassium ATPase gets lost. Now we have another transporter protein, active transporter. Now what is that? That active transporter is known as calcium pump. Calcium pump. Now the function of calcium pump is to pump out calcium from the cells. Right? It pumps out calcium from the cells. Calcium pump pumps out calcium from cells. Right? Now when ATP is depleted, then the functionality of calcium pump will also get low. Right? Now if the functionality of calcium pump gets low, what's gonna happen? Now this will lead to increased calcium accumulation, in cell. Now this increased calcium accumulation in cell is another mechanism of cell injury. See, increased intracellular calcium is another mechanism of cell injury, which we will discuss in details in a separate module. But remember that I said these mechanisms can occur individually or can occur simultaneously and can facilitate each other. This is the example where depletion of ATP is facilitating another mechanism, that is increased intracellular calcium. So this point is very, very important. Remember that. Right. Now, whenever there is an alteration in our body tries to compensate that alteration. Now over here, this decreased in ATP will also get compensated to some extent by different mechanisms. Now what are those mechanisms? Let us understand. Now what we have decreased ATP. Now to compensate that, what's gonna happen? There will be anaerobic glycolysis. Why anaerobic? Because we already have hypoxia over here, which is low amount of oxygen, so we don't have enough oxygen to utilize. So in that case, we will go for anaerobic glycolysis to produce some amount of ATP. Now for anaerobic glycolysis, we will be requiring what? We will be requiring glucose. Now from where we will get the glucose? If we have blood supply intact, if we have intact blood supply, then glucose comes from the blood. Now if by any reason we do not have blood supply compromised, if we have the compromised blood supply, in what situation blood supply can get compromised? Yes, we learned in the previous module, as in case of ischemia, the blood supply may get compromised. In that situation, who will provide us with the glucose? In that situation, the glucose is provided by the glycogen stores. In this situation, glycogen in cell provides the glucose. Right? Now, this is how the cell tries to somehow compensate the decreased ATP. But this good gesture turns into something bad. How? Now if you do a lot of anaerobic glycolysis, we have to remember that what is the end product of anaerobic glycolysis? Anaerobic glycolysis leads to formation of lactic acid. Now anaerobic glycolysis leads to formation of lactic acid. This lactic acid is acidic, so this will lead to what? This will lead to decrease in pH of the cell. So decrease in pH of the cell will lead to two things. Decrease in pH will lead to, first, it will lead to protein denaturation. We know that proteins require optimum pH, optimum temperature and all that thing to stay in proper structure. If you alter those optimum conditions, the proteins will get denatured. So similarly over here, as the pH falls, that will lead to protein denaturation. At the same point of time, the fall in pH or acidic environment will cause clumping of chromatin. In nucleus. Now these two together constitute a third mechanism of cell injury, which is known as the DNA and protein damage. DNA and protein damage, which we will again discuss in a separate module. Right? So now, to summarize what we learned in this video, first we learned that a decrease in ATP will lead to dysfunction of two active transporters. One is the sodium potassium ATPase, another one is the calcium pump. If calcium pump dysfunctions, what will happen? There will be accumulation of calcium within the cell. Now what that will lead to, we will discuss in a separate module. Now what happens when sodium potassium ATPase dysfunctions? Sodium and water accumulates within the cell, potassium goes out of the cell, water accumulation leads to cell swelling. Now cell swelling causes loss of microvilli, bleb formation and ER swelling. Now ER swelling will lead to detachment of ribosome from the surface of RER, and as ribosomes get detached from the surface of RER, what will be there? There will be decreased protein synthesis. Now this decrease in protein ATP, or decrease in the level of energy currencies, the body will try to compensate that. How the body will compensate that? The body will try to do anaerobic glycolysis in an increased amount. The body will do increased anaerobic glycolysis. Now how the body will get glucose for the anaerobic glycolysis? If the blood supply is intact, the blood will bring glucose to the tissue. But if by any chance the blood supply is not intact, there is compromised blood supply, which may occur in case of ischemia. In that situation, the tissue gets oxygen from the glycogen it has already stored in it. So the glycogen present in the cell will provide the glucose. So you get glucose either by intact blood supply or by glycogen of the cell. Alright. Now this increased anaerobic glycolysis will lead to lactic acid formation. Now this lactic acid formation will lead to decrease in the pH of the cells. Now this decrease in pH of the cells has two consequences. One, it will cause denaturation of the proteins present in the cell. On the other hand, it will cause clumping of the chromatin material present within the nucleus. Now this protein denaturation and clumping of chromatin will lead to DNA and protein damage. Now this DNA and protein damage is again another mechanism of cell injury, which we will be discussing in a separate module. So in this module, we briefly discussed the mechanisms of cell injury and ATP depletion as a mechanism of cell injury. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, share this video among your peers in the medical school and college. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel by any chance, please do hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that you never miss a video from my channel. Until then, bye bye. See you in the next one.